Hi, I'm Coach Hank. Welcome to my podcast, Path to Podium.
They say no guts, no glory, then let me tell my story then. God, I need to know the ends on the path to podium. This the path to podium. On my path to podium. This the path to podium. This the path to podium. On the path to podium.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Path to Podium with Coach Hank. I have been in the fitness industry, dance industry, and exercise industry for 5 decades and running. With that being said, I have gone through many of athletes and stories in my lifetime, and I have absorbed them, and now I have come up with this podcast to let athletes talk about their journey. With that has become Path to Podium, and I welcome you to my podcast. With that being said, this is my co-host, Megan. Everyone say hello to Miss Megan.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I am really excited about having Megan on this journey with me because she has been in this industry for a very long time. So she will understand some of the subjects that I am speaking about. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Tell us about you, Megan. How long have you been in the industry?
Oh my goodness. I started, like many dancers, at a really young age, 3 years old. Started in ballet, entered into competition dance, and really still dancing now to this day in the pro space.
I love that. So with that being said, in all of your time dancing, the journey, do you wish you had an outlet to speak to someone about or somewhere for you to be free about what you were doing?
Absolutely.
So in our time, that wasn't heard of.
Absolutely.
No, because most of the time in sports, we are taught to perform and be quiet.
Yes.
In that field, that internal lockup is really hard for us to get through. I know a lot of people say that makes us tough, but that also doesn't make us tough. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I mean, tell me some of your best experience of where you come from your journey.
Yeah, a lot of it is mental toughness. We're really told to get into dance and put our bodies through tremendous amount of pressure, but there isn't a whole lot of conversation regarding mindset. And, you know, at the end of the day, when we're dancing and performing, we're putting a smile on our face, but there's so much more that goes beyond that.
Behind that costume, it's
Yes.
a lot. I have seen coaches that are somewhat brutal. Back in my day, most of the coaches and dance teachers that I had probably would have been locked up today, just to be said, you know what I mean? It's a different world. Tell me something, how do you feel about the younger teachers teaching now versus the older teachers?
Oh, yes. A lot of the dance industry has changed over the last several years. It really used to be teachers that are prideful about their accomplishments, and you study under these teachers that have had tremendous experience in the professional space. I believe personally there's now a shift in teachers that are coming up that may not have that experience being in the professional space.
Correct.
And, you know, coaching so many young minds in the industry.
When you're young-minded,
Yes.
it's really hard to be that adult.
Yes.
And to separate because you are part of that group, right? So that's something that comes with age. So when I see a class right now with 20-year-olds that say they're master classes and 21 years old, I kind of giggle inside a little bit.
Right.
Because, okay, you've mastered what you have, but have you mastered all of dance?
Right.
And that's really difficult to do because I haven't in 5.5 decades.
Right.
I haven't, so that's hard to say. Not being disrespectful to the new dance world by any means at all.
Right.
It's a whole nother world from when I was a professional dancer. We had our 8 counts was an 8 count. But
Yes.
the 8 counts now, every count has 4 movements in it.
And
And
One.
pop, pop,
Yes.
one, right? And that's not how we grew up, you know, because we had to stretch it and follow it through. But now it's the gyrations and the jerking and the thing. It's a whole nother genre of dance, which is one of the reasons I quit teaching dance, because I just don't want to do that.
yeah.
I know it's at the competition level right now, and that's where we are in the universe.
Right.
That is absolutely great, but that's why I decided to separate myself and be an acro coach.
Yeah.
Because acro is so much needed in dance today. It's not your cute acro that we used to do. If you could do a cartwheel or a back walkover in my time, you were brilliant. But now, aerials, aerials on your right side and left side, which is kind of unheard of.
Right.
I teach national gymnasts that can't do an aerial on their opposite side. But in the dance world today, if you want to be in a college entry for dance, you must have your aerial on your opposite side. So just those games as dancers, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot.
Dance is also growing more popularity through social media platforms.
Correct.
To where the evolution of dance is constantly changing. And the level of execution of different movements is changing as well.
Correct.
And that's where a lot of, I think, young minds are entering into the space, more into the space now than they used to be. And a lot of youthful teachers are also entering in the space as well.
So let me ask you a question, respectful-wise. How do you feel, do you think we're disrespecting the beginning of dance versus now? Because a lot of kids don't know that gap. Like I say Martha Graham.
Right.
And
like,
kids were like, who?
Who's that?
Right? And I'm like, whoa. And I mean, Alvin Ailey Dance Company, what? And I mean, whoa.
Those are the foundations.
These are where we are today.
Right.
You know, Martha Graham, Alvin Ailey, Steps Dance Studio that I taught at for years. These kids would have no idea. And I find that it breaks my heart. As
I
a teacher.
think it comes to the study of dance is not being looked into as closely. And then also pop culture and what they see on social media is very different. But all of this comes down to the foundations of dance.
Yes.
I will be honest, I didn't learn it until I went to school and studied it.
See there? Because you had that heart to find it.
Right.
If you don't look for it, it's not going to be there. That's the world today. I mean, everybody is, let me look it up.
Yes.
Let me look it up. We did not have that opportunity. We had to do it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? One thing I'd like to tap on is like when kids are on social media and say, learn a backflip 1, 2, 3. That absolutely drives me crazy to the fact that that comes with a lot. You don't know what you're giving that person on the other side. So there's a kid that actually thinks that they're going to learn a backflip in their living room in 3 counts because you said that, right? That doesn't come with weight. That doesn't come with the ability of that student. Are they an athlete by any means at all? Spotting techniques, things that you have to do to get over that. So just to be so gullible to say backflip in 1, 2, 3, when I see those things, it really upsets me as a gymnastics coach and a dance teacher because it doesn't work that way.
No, and that's why getting those foundations early with a coach or getting proper training is so important for dancers, for safety. It's incredible. You have to start and end the movements correctly.
Right.
I've seen many talented people get injured, unfortunately.
Speaking of that, what comes with injury? I mean, with dancers today, we have strength because the tricks that are being done today take amazing ability to get through. But most people are just dancing to do that, which comes, we're missing the weight training. We're missing the Pilates. We're missing all of those things that have to go into that pot to make you that dancer. I don't know how to explain it to some people that you have to go do that.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything extra to enhance your career as a dancer?
100%. And really, you do have to have a combination of things. You have to have strength training, flexibility, foundational classes. I can go into choreo classes, but I wouldn't be able to execute it well without these other things. So I do take Pilates twice a week.
Love it.
It's
absolutely.
Strength training.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. And then I take acro classes twice a week on top of the choreography classes that I'm taking 3 times a week.
It doesn't stop.
Right.
It does. It's to some parents, I give a lot of parents credit today because dance is a very expensive sport today.
It is.
Competitions, costumes, extra classes. These parents today, I really give you claps because my mom would have told me to kick rocks. There's no way.
Shout out to the dance moms out there.
Dance moms and dads, power to you. This is a
Yeah.
very expensive sport because you are traveling. When I competed, you traveled within your region.
Right.
No. Now
Now
we
it's-
fly all over the place to compete with everybody everywhere. And I'm glad I was where I was in my time because I would not
Yeah.
have been able to do that.
Definitely, dance has gotten so much exposure. You have to go to travel out of areas
To compete.
to compete. At least in a lot of studios now, you're going to nationals. You're going to different competitions. When I was dancing, I mean, it was a lot. It's a huge commitment, and I think as you get older too, it gets even more rigorous. I
Right.
think the expectations for older dancers as they're growing is that they have to take a lot more classes on a regular basis. And especially there becomes that split of like, do I go pro? Do I continue dancing at this level for just fun and as an outlet? But you know, for those who are entering into the pro space or want to do that or go into college and dance for teams, that just increases. And then for parents, it's a lot. I remember,
I mean,
yeah.
I remember my mom sweating in our time.
Yes.
I mean, actually sweating to pay the tuition for my gymnastics and dance school.
Yeah.
I had my own dance school a couple of years ago. Never in a million years will I ever own my own brick and mortar place again.
Yeah. It's a
The
lot.
stress. You become the maintenance man. You become the problem
Yes.
solver. You're the secretary. You're the mom solver. You're the dad.
Therapist.
It's a nightmare. And I forgot I was teaching at that time, so
Yeah.
I had to get rid of that real quick.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. With that being said, we go through stages in dance. When
Yeah.
you first started dance, you were how old?
3.
3. When did you see a drastic change where you're like, uh-oh, this is serious?
Yeah. I was 13.
13.
I was at a ballet studio and I was dancing only ballet at the time. I was at a studio local to where I grew up. And it became a point where I wanted to go on point and I wanted to excel. And this was something that I was so passionate about. And that amount of pressure, I think my parents saw how much I loved it
And wanted that.
and wanted that for me. But it also, it's like financially, dance is an expensive sport. And I remember telling my parents, like, you know, I will volunteer at the studio.
Whatever I have to do.
Whatever I have to do. I ended up going into the modeling space to pay for a lot of my classes because I knew I wanted to continue dance. And I also knew that it was a lot for my parents. And my mom ended up working for the studio and
That's 80%.
volunteering to the
Yeah.
studio.
You're at the front desk, Mom.
Right?
Yeah. Which is also, once your mom is at the front desk of the studio, now you have to be 100%.
Right.
Because there's no time to fool around now anymore. And that
Right.
pressure,
Yeah.
you know, to come in and do that.
She wasn't necessarily at the front of the studio, but she was the one putting a lot of the background production together for
It's tough,
where
yeah,
I was.
yeah.
And
That's where usually the dads pop up,
Yes.
you know, and all of that fun. All the
my
trucks
dad's
pull up.
stitching something. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, dad's doing the mouse costume for right the
Sewing
nutcracker.
in a
It's a team. It's a
button.
team effort. It really is. And when you're in that situation, your siblings are also involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're not in the dance world, you have to also remember for parents to keep that sibling that's not in the dance world balanced.
Yes.
Because you don't want to be the favorite because that's an issue. You know what I mean?
100%.
When you're a gymnast and a dancer, I do recall in learning that dance and gymnastics is one of the best sports for the brain. Due to the fact that you're using both sides of the brain, right side and left side,
Yes.
because we always have to turn right and turn left. That's our dominant, right? When we're not, if you're in a baseball player, you're only hit with one side.
Right.
You're a tennis player, you're only using one side. So most of the time when you meet dancers and gymnasts, we're pretty okay up here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everybody else is not okay, but when you're flipping upside down, there's a little bit more that is involved with your thinking.
It's definitely, you have to have mastered coordination, both right and left, feet right and left,
Immediately.
head right and left.
Right, to land and to be
Land
perfect. And I mean,
everything.
I remember my brothers and them used to just tease me as a kid being a dancer and a gymnast. I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. And then one day we went to play basketball. And my brother threw the ball up in the air and I jumped up and grabbed it. And they all were like, what is happening? And I went, gymnastics. And then I was everybody's favorite after that. You know what I mean? But the sport comes with a lot. With that being said, I really am interested in this podcast for people to come on and be interviewed to tell a story, such as this young lady, about their journey. And Megan's going to be here to co-host with me for a couple of shows. And please, people, feel free to reach out. Don't be scared. It's a friendly environment. We got you. We look forward to speaking to you soon from Path to Podium. Have an excellent, strong, healthy day.
They say no guts, no glory, then let me tell my story then. God, I need to know the ends on the path to podium. This the path to podium. On my path to podium. They say no guts, no glory, then let me tell my story then. God, I need to know the ends on the path to podium. This the path to podium. On my path to podium.